Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. In today's episode, the DOJ has just announced as of 15 minutes ago that they are going to be giving out $231 million for states to initiate red flag laws across the great nation. I know. Everything's going to be linked in the description box below, and you guys need to know this one, so make sure that you comment below and send this one out as well. And if you are new or returning viewer, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and jumping on that notification bell because we need as many of you as possible to help pass the blessing of the Second Amendment along to the next generation by fighting things just like this. But without further ado, let's dive in because, like I said, this is breaking as of 15 minutes ago, and it's like 9:15 when this was dropped. DOJ giving states $231 million for gun violence prevention programs. Now, if you've been with us for a minute, you know that this came from the Senate Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. This is the one that's the red flag law funding that the Republicans caved on and they passed it. Yeah, that one. The entire point here was funding was given on a federal level to individual states into a fund that they're issuing out through the DOJ to start red flag laws in multiple different states that either don't have them or reinforce existing red flag laws. The only problem is there's a big catch, which we're going to get to in 1 second. Hang with me. Washington, AP. The Justice Department is sending out more than $200 million to help states and the District of Columbia administer red flag laws and other crisis intervention programs as part of the landmark bipartisan gun legislation passed by Congress over the summer, officials said Tuesday. Now, one of the catches and one of the safety valves that the Republicans put in this egregious piece of legislation that they agreed to and passed in the Senate, one of the safety valves was the due process rights have to be involved in anything where the money goes. And that is going to be the catch. Because existing red flag laws in states like California, New York, New Jersey, Oregon, anywhere there's a red flag law that's a bluer state, they don't have due process rights. They don't have due process representation, which is a conflict with your constitutional rights as an American citizen. That is violating not only your Second Amendment rights, but also your due process rights. This is incredibly important. This is bigger than just the Second Amendment. Imagine if it was anything else. Freedom of speech, anything else that you hold dear. Imagine if they were curtailing not only that right, but also the ability to have and face your accuser. This is massive, but let's keep going. Red flag laws, also known as extreme risk protection orders, are intended to temporarily remove guns from people with potentially violent behavior, and prevent them from hurting themselves or others. 19 states and the District of Columbia have red flag laws, which we've covered. Again, they don't have due process rights protected inside their red flag laws. That's the catch. This money cannot be appropriated to those red flag laws unless they do something wrong, which, shocker above shockers, what do you bet they find a workaround on that one? But this Republicans in the Senate is why you don't do this with people who want to abolish gun rights in this country. Anyway, I digress. Red flag laws have been touted by President Joe Biden and others as a powerful tool to stop gun violence before it happens. But an Associated Press analysis found they are often underused, even as shootings and gun deaths soar around the U.S. That can be due to a lack of awareness or reluctance to enforce the laws, or the fact that they just don't work. Red flag laws have failed consistently across the board multiple times. We've seen them happen and fail all the time over the past 2 years. We've covered every single failure on this channel. The reason why is because while you're violating due process and you're violating Second Amendment rights for everyone else, the people who are truly the problem are not getting caught up in this net that you're doing for safety. They do not work, and the cost is your rights. This is bigger than just... Anyway, let's keep going. Got one more thing for you. And this is the part where they actually admit it in the AP article. The laws differ by state, but they generally allow people, like family members or law enforcement, to petition the court for an order removing weapons for up to a year. Some critics fear they could be used to wrongly curtail Second Amendment rights. Yeah, no kidding, like they have been. The Justice Department said the program has checks in place to ensure due process. Okay, why do I not feel confident that that's an honored process? Just saying. The funding is part of the $1.4 billion from the legislation provided to the Justice Department over 5 years for gun violence prevention measures. So this is just the first fifth of the money that's going to come out for red flag law and implementation across the United States because Senate Republicans passed this. Keep in mind, they had the filibuster in place. the Senate Republicans pass this. You are literally looking at $200 million that's going out to fund red flag law initiatives nationwide because Republicans caved on this. This is square on the Republicans in the Senate. Just saying. But that's what we're doing. And just trust the safeguards. DOJ has your best interest in heart. They won't ever abuse anything. Not to mention the ATF is directly involved with the DOJ as part of their chain of command. Nothing wrong with there. And then Biden has Merrick Garland on speed dial. Nothing could go wrong because there's protections. I'm a little feisty. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next episode. I'm Braden. See you later.